Welcome back, image design students. This is Mrs. Brown. This is the part 2 video of our Unit 8 graded project. So in order to complete the next steps, you should have completed part 1 of the project and have something that looks similar to this. So moving on, we are going to start adding some little visual effects to our collage. So we're going to do something in this unit, in this section of the unit, to allow us to add different visual effects. And we're going to install what we call our script foo menu. So you're going to want to pay special attention as to how I'm doing this and get this installed on your computer. And we will use it in later units. So you need to be working with this collage image. And we're going to use this script plugin. So what script plugins are is they are a way to add features that are not in the GIMP default. So we're going to basically add another menu that will give us some extra features to use. And they're going to help us add some visual, stylish effects. So on your computer, we're going to go to our File Explorer. And we're going to go to your image design folder. So wherever your image design folder is, find it, go to your course resource files, find it, and you should have a folder that says script resources. If you have deleted this folder, you will need to go back into Unit 1, Section 1.04 to download the resources again to get this back. So script resources. You're then going to select this layer fx.scm. You're then going to right click and we're going to copy. Okay, I'm just going to minimize this as we go on to our next step. Now we're going to paste this script plugin into the program files. So on our File Explorer down here, we're now going to navigate to the C drive. So if you click over here on this PC and then go to your C drive, we're now going to double click Program Files. We're going to double click GIMP 2. We're then going to double click Share. We're then going to double click GIMP. We're then going to double click 2.0. We're then going to go down and double click Scripts. Now, with your mouse, you're simply going to right click in the window here and paste. In the layer fx.scm. You should make sure that you can see it in this list. And we're ready to move on to the next step. So now back in GIMP, we are going to click the Filters menu. We're going to come down to Script Foo, go over and then select Refresh Scripts. Okay. Now, we have a script foo menu. We can go ahead and select it, and then Layer Effects gave us all these options. So that first thing we did is we found that script foo, we copied it into our program files, and we refreshed it, and it's now in our program, and we can use all of these different effects, these different options, which we're going to use in this project. So now we're ready to move on and begin working in our collage again. So now we are going to select one of the image layers. Doesn't matter, you choose which one you want. I'm going to start at the top, and you're going to click the Script Foo menu, Layer Effects, And then you're going to click stroke. Now, something might pop up behind. See down here, my GIMP is flashing. Whatever's flashing, I'm going to select that so that my script foo menu will pop up here. Now in the script foo stroke window, we're going to click the color button to select any color that you'd like. I'm going to go, I think, with pinks. I'm a fan of pinks. My current color, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now I'm going to change the opacity to 50. You can use the slider or the arrows to bring it down to around 50. In the size field, we want it to be 3. The position slider, we want to drag to all the way to the right to 100. What this is going to do is it's going to add a border to the outside of the image like a frame. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, and you're going to notice that a border is going to be added to the image, and it's going to appear as its own layer over here. Okay. If you like how it looks, you're going to leave it as is. If not, you can undo and repeat the steps, selecting different options. Now, in the layers list, we're going to click and drag the border, the border layer right here to the top of the list above the new border layer. Okay, so let's see here. I can't see very well. So this image 1, is what we have been working with. So we want that to be on the very top of our new border layer. So whatever image you have, you want it to be above your border layer. Okay, now you're going to click the layer menu and then click merge down. What this does is it combines both of these into one single layer, like that. All right, now we're going to repeat the steps to image 2 and 3, going just adding some borders. So you'll click the script foo menu, layer effects, and stroke. You can change your color. You can change the opacity if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and move my size up. I want it to be a little bit thicker. And then you can also, little shortcut, click merge with layer. I want you to know how to do it both ways. Merge with layer, and this will automatically merge the layers, which is a shortcut there. If we go to image 3 now, script foo, layer effects, stroke, change your color. Okay. And I'm going to keep my merge with layer selected. And there you have it. So all 3 of your images should now have a border around them. All right, now we're going to add a drop shadow. So this is an effect that will add a shadow behind an image in a layer. So we're going to have a shadow behind our images. So you can make the shadow the same shape and change the size. And we're going to do that now. All right, so we're going to select one of the image layers. I'm going to work with layer 1 and then move my way down. We're going to click the script foo menu, layer effects, and then drop shadow. So the dialog box should have popped up. Here, I'm going to move it over. You can go ahead and choose a color for your shadow. I'm going to go with some blues. Okay, now you're going to click and drag the opacity slider to change the transparency of the shadow. So you can do this however you want it. I'm going to go hover here in the 60%-ish. In the contour field, you're going to make sure that linear is selected. So you want it to be linear. And in the noise field, you want your number to be somewhere around 50. So you can use the arrows or you can just click and drag the slider. Now in the size field, we want it to be 24. Now in the offset angle, we want to go ahead and change this to 50. Now in the offset distance field, we want it to be 25. So this offset distance field, this is going to make sure that we can actually see the shadow. Now, go ahead and click OK, and the shadow is going to be added to your whatever image you have selected. Mine's going to be added to this image right here. So you can see that it's adding, and you can see my shadow added behind there. If you don't like your shadow, you can undo the steps and redo them. The last thing we need to do is we need to click and drag the image that we shadowed to the top of the list. Make sure it's above the new shadow layer. So now we want our image above the shadow layer. We can then click the layer menu and then merge down to combine those into one layer. Now we're going to repeat what we just did. Oh, you know what? That actually went backwards. No. There we go. Make sure you have that layer selected. Okay, we're going to repeat adding shadows to each image. So I'll click our image 2, go to our script view menu, layer effects, and then drop shadow. You can change the color. I'm going to go with blues. The opacity, I'm going to go a little bit higher. Your contour, keep linear, and you can, any of these here you can change as you like. I'm going to leave it all the same. The only thing I'm going to change is I'm going to use our shortcut and select a box that says merge with layer and click OK. It will add, and you'll see I have my second shadow. I'm now going to go to my image 3. I'm going to click the script view menu, layer effects, drop shadow. I'm going to change my color to something a little bit darker. I'm going to leave everything the same here again. And I'm going to keep that merge with layer selected and click OK. And I have my last shadow added. Okay, so you should now have in your collage, each image should have a border and each image should have a shadow. Each of the layers should be merged so that the image is the image has the border and the shadow and the image all in one layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and save our work, and we're on to our last step of the project. So for the last step, we're simply going to add a pattern to our background. So this is something we have not done in previous units. We've added color, but now we're going to use a pattern. So we're going to select our background layer. Make sure you have the background layer selected. Now on the bottom right dock, you're going to, next to the brushes tab, here we have our brushes, you're going to click the patterns tab to see the list of patterns. Now right here it's just a bunch of block patterns. I like to view it as a list so I can kind of see names. So you can go through all of the patterns and select any of the patterns that you would like. I'm going to go ahead and choose pastel stuff. You can choose whatever one you like. When you have a pattern that you like, you're going to come over to your toolbox, select the bucket fill tool, and then you're simply going to click the image window right here one time, and the pattern will be added. Uh-oh. Undo. I need to click pattern fill down here. Skipped a step, sorry. So after you click your bucket fill tool, make sure you come down here in the tool options and click pattern fill. I had my color fill and so it kept it black. Make sure you click pattern fill. Then click the background and you'll have your pattern added to your background layer. If you don't like the pattern and you'd like to try another pattern, it's as simple as clicking edit undo. You can come over here, select another pattern. Just make sure you have your bucket fill tool, pattern fill, and try a new pattern. I'll go ahead and keep this one and click File, Save. All right, so that is the end of the second video, creating a collage in GIMP. Now remember, for every single unit, you need to complete 2 projects. So this is one project. You're going to repeat everything we did in video 1 and video 2 to complete your second project. So you would simply start a new project by clicking File, New, having your 800 by 600 template, and then opening up the other 3 images from your Unit 8 folder and get started cropping just as you have. Whoops, I made a mistake. I'm glad I did. You can see. Make sure you click Open as Layers. And there you go. And now you can get started with your collage 2. Now, I obviously did not finish collage 2, but I will save it so that I can show you that when you are 100% done, how you will submit the project. So when you have completely finished your second collage and it looks similar to your first collage, you will go to your Unit 8 folder, let's see, here it is. Make sure you have your collage 1 and your collage 2. You'll then come back and you'll right click and send it to a compressed zipped folder. And then you'll come into the image design class, and I am going to change this to student view. Here, an easy way to get to your assignment is simply by clicking Tools, Assignments. You can then scroll down to your Unit 8 graded assignment, make a collage, open up. You can review the rubric to make sure you have all steps. And we're going to add a file. And then I can actually just click and drag my zipped folder to load. When you are 100% loaded, you'll click Add, and then you will go ahead and click Submit. I'm not going to click Submit. I don't want to grade my own work, but you click Submit and you are done. If you have any questions, come find me in a help time or sign up for a one-on-one.